Did you know that only about 3% of the Earth's water is fresh, and most of that is locked away in glaciers and ice caps? What's left is barely enough to sustain over 8 billion people, and we're draining it faster than it can be replenished. Now, what happens if that water runs out completely? Let's take a journey into a future where humanity faces its greatest thirst. Fresh water is the lifeblood of civilization. It grows our crops, hydrates our bodies, powers industries, and fuels our cities. Yet every day we waste, pollute, and misuse it like there's an infinite supply. In this story, the well finally goes dry. At first, it's the little things. Restaurants start handing out tiny cups of water with warnings not to ask for refills. Public fountains become dusty relics, their dry basins filled with trash. Lawns turn brown, golf courses vanish, and the car wash down the street, it's out of business. But then the big problems hit. Crops fail. Without enough water for irrigation, the fields that feed billions shrivel up. Wheat, rice, corn, all gone. Supermarkets become battlegrounds for whatever processed food remains. Have you ever seen someone throw punches over a can of soup? You might, in this world. And the cities, the cities. Water rationing becomes the norm. Faucets spit air more often than water, and when the taps do run, it's murky and smells like rust. People spend hours in line for water trucks that hand out just enough for basic survival. And then there's the price gouging. Imagine having to pay more for a gallon of water than a gallon of gas. Oh wait, some people already do. Hospitals? Overwhelmed. Hygiene becomes a luxury. Diseases like cholera and typhoid, long thought to be relics of the past, make a terrifying comeback. And let's not forget the chaos in the streets. When water becomes the new gold, desperation rises like a tidal wave. Nations go to war over rivers and lakes. Entire populations migrate, chasing the last remaining sources of fresh water. Governments collapse under the weight of thirsty riots. Now, let's hit pause for a second. If this sounds like the plot of a dystopian novel, you're not far off. But here's the terrifying truth. This isn't some far-off fantasy. It's already happening in parts of the world. In Cape Town, South Africa, residents faced day zero just a few years ago when their city's water supply nearly ran dry. And in the United States, states like California have been battling historic droughts for decades. What's causing all this? Well, for starters, our planet's climate is shifting. Rising temperatures mean more evaporation, less snowpack to feed rivers, and unpredictable rainfall patterns. At the same time, we're pumping water out of underground aquifers at alarming rates, essentially borrowing from the future to survive the present. And don't even get me started on pollution. Chemical runoff, industrial waste, and plastic microfibers are turning our rivers into toxic sludge. But here's the kicker. Fixing this isn't just about saving the environment, it's about saving ourselves. And we have options. Did you know that countries like Israel have mastered water desalination and reuse systems? They recycle nearly 90% of their wastewater, turning it back into drinking water. Compare that to the US, which recycles just 1%. Yeah, we've got some catching up to do. Then there's agriculture. Right now, 70% of the world's fresh water is used for farming, much of it inefficiently. By adopting smarter irrigation methods like drip systems or vertical farming, we could save billions of gallons. And on an individual level, simple changes, like turning off the tap while brushing your teeth, can make a surprising difference when multiplied by millions of people. Now, I get it. All of this sounds overwhelming. But here's the thing. Humans are incredibly resourceful. Throughout history, we've faced crises that seemed insurmountable, and each time we found a way to adapt and thrive. So while the future I painted might seem bleak, it doesn't have to be inevitable. In the end, it all comes down to this. Water is life, and protecting it means protecting everything we hold dear. So, what if we ran out of fresh water? The answer depends on what we do right now. Do we keep wasting it, or do we start treating it like the precious resource it truly is? Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're curious about more what-if scenarios, or just love exploring the big questions about our world, join our channel for more. Let's keep asking the questions that matter, and finding the answers together. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.